hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Near Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing. Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you this evening. It's Thursday. Thursday. A beautiful Thursday here in the Northeast, at least on my end. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. How are you? What are you doing? Where have you been? Who did you talk to today? Could you count the amount of people you spoke to today? Actually, had a conversation with. Well, perhaps you can, perhaps you can't, but we are together again. And it sounds like a song. You all know that song. We're together again, just praising the Lord. Oh, Lord, I thought of it and I said, oh, well, I can picture myself as a child literally knocking that tambourine. Pay me, you'll see. Believe me, I can knock a tambourine from here until tomorrow. So I'd like to say good evening to one and all. I'm here. I'm with you. I will be with you until 8 o'clock this evening. And what can I say? It's a beautiful, what a day. Seriously, there are just some days. Last week we had one of those days. And I was saying to myself, what a day, pretty. And I even commented the same thing to a friend, and he was saying, yes, the day really beautiful, and today is nice and warm. I think, let's see, because in my forecast earlier this morning, they said we would get up to about 56. And so, let's see what's going on around here. Right here in Mount Vernon right now, it's 54. I just love my phone. I didn't even have to type in Mount Vernon. It just came up. Oops. Yeah. So Mount Vernon, it's 54 right now, and it's going down to a low of 32, which is still not bad. When we tell somebody we're in the 40s and we're like, it's good weather, poor thing, they don't understand what that means to us when we say 40s. So I hope you're doing well. Please don't just almost derobe now, Hello. You still have to ensure that you keep something warm with you to cover you, a coverall or something, so you don't get a cold, because this kind of weather will catch you. But hi, everyone. I'm your producer. My name is Lady D, Denise Gomez, and I have so much joy. Joy, just knowing that you are with me here on the show called Inside the Zone this evening. So I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm good. So yeah. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx, and it is Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed. You're tuned into Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM. 22 minutes after 6 o'clock. I'd like to say hi, I'm here. And then I'd also like to say Medea. So you know how that goes, right? Yeah. Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities, family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, wealth management, life and health insurance, real estate, and food insecurity on Monday 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursday 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Linkage Radio in Mount Vernon, New York. Coming up, our inspirational zone, we get a praise on with great gospel music, followed by News Zone, a rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. Music Zone, it's gospel. Music Thursday, and what's inside the zone? A woman's right to choose. Is a woman selfish if she chooses not to have children? I'm still in Women's History Month, and what's inside the zone? Let me repeat that for you. A woman's right to choose. Is a woman selfish if she chooses not to have children? Think on these things. Of course, in Mail Zone, your emails are my priority. From the subject line, cheating, don't pay. Cheating, don't pay. That's what it says. And in Sense to Stage, of course, who's that lady? Who's that lady? Shanae V. Williams, 1st Council District, Yonkers, New York, first Jamaican-born American elected to the Yonkers City Council and currently the youngest council member in Yonkers. William chairs the Community and Mental Health Committee, Women and Children Committee, and is the former chair of Legislation and Codes Committee. She is the councilwoman for the 1st District in Yonkers, New York. She'll be joining me at 7:30 p.m. That's Who's My Lady. It's now 24 minutes after 6 o'clock. How are you doing with this DST thing? I tell you, each time it comes around, it messes me up because my clock is kind of set. So usually I go to bed late. You know, I'm a late bird. I go to bed late, but locks, man. Now I realize I get home, I have other things to work on. I sit at my laptop and then I'm realizing, oh, it's 12 o'clock when it really would have been 11. They need to get it together and figure out what they're doing. But hi to everyone tuning in. Hey to my YouTubers. So nice to have you. Please share the link and let someone know I'm on the YouTube channel Inside of the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. It's a pleasure always having you with me. And I want to get some praise going on all day. I've been just listening to some great praise and worship, and I've been listening to the word. I pull it up on my desktop and I'm just having a good time. Centered, just being centered and processing and praying and that kind of thing, and it works. So it's kind of keeping me even when I'm bombarded by stuff. Don't you feel like you're bombarded with things and some days you're just like, whatever, can't bother? Be honest, don't pretend. Okay, that's my thing for you. Third Thursday, customarily, third Thursday would, of course, been my evening when I'm interviewing an author. But this evening, I'll be interviewing Councilwoman Williams for Yonkers District, the 1st District, at 7:30 p.m. And she's smart, so that ought to be an interesting interview. And, I know you love looking forward to the 7 o'clock hour for Mail Zone. So I'd like to get my praise on. How about you? Welcome to Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. What station are you tuned into? Linkage Radio, your budding and buzzing station. 24/7, 365 days for the year. That's what we say, and that's what we mean.
My miracle walking God, my trust is in you. King of glory, my trust is in you. Bada, my Father, my trust is in you. Hey, I put them on my trust is in you. I put them all in you, Jesus. Hey. My trust is in you. Hey, I put them all in you. My trust is in you. Isubi amambete alebo siande. Hey, Baba. My trust is in you. Oh. Trust is in you. Hey, I put them on you. My trust is in you. Hey, I am a suli, I'm a man. I put them tired. Hey, my trust is in you. I put them all in you. God, yeah. So mama, my trust is in you, God, in you, mighty one. I put them Lion of the tribe of Judah. Hey, my trust is in you.
Lord, you are in front of my own. Na 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 na. Hey, Lord God, you are in front of my everything. Lord Jesus, you are in front of my everything. Andy. Elohim, faithful Adonai. Raise your voices. Lord Jesus, you are Zaba. Jesus, you are in front. You are the way, you are the love. Oh, Jesus, I can never fail. You are in front of my everything. I can never walk in that. Never. You are the light within me, Lord. Of my everything, in front of my life, Lord Jesus, you are the way, you are the in front of my marriage, you are my standby, you are my comforter, my own. You are my standby, my comforter, my own. You Jesus, you are my comforter, my own. My life depends on you. You are my standby. Depends on you. Comforter, my own.
Yeah, that's Inspirational Zone for you right here on Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Good evening, everyone. My name is Denise. That's my name, Lady D. Gomez, and it's now time for News Zone, a delayed broadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. And of course, I'm also broadcasting on Touch FM Radio 90.1 in the Bronx, as well as CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. Don't forget to tune in to Linkage Radio. We have apps. We have multiple apps, and you can catch us on Twitch. You can catch us on what is this one called, For You, but you have to go to the links to get them. So it's fast4u.com. That's fast as in FAST, cast, CAST, the number 4 lowercase u.com. So there's so many platforms that you can catch Linkage Radio on. I posted them out this afternoon in my broadcast list via the YouTube channel. Good evening, everyone. Are you ready for the news? Interesting things. There's a live. Okay, so right now the budget debate is going on, and the Most Honorable Andrew Holness is currently making his presentation.
Of $70,000 monthly and assisted they will be assisted with the establishment of bank accounts and passports and other civil documents. There will also be a saving component where each candidate will receive a lump sum of $120,000 after completion. They will participate in core employability skills and personal development training, but their functional development will come through on-the-job exposure and mentorship. Madam Speaker, an area of concern often raised by me or raised with me by members of Parliament is the community-based training program. I know members on that side have reached out to me, members on this side have reached out to me. So some MPs have found the program quite useful in bringing training engagement to rural areas and underserved communities. The program has been under review and is being evaluated against the type of skills required by the market and the facilities and resources needed to effectively deliver such skills in a community-based modality. So, Madam Speaker, it's not that HEART doesn't want to do community intervention training, but in trying to catch up to the skill sets that are needed, to train someone in mechatronics or in, machine control, the level of equipment that an investment that you would have to make, you wouldn't be able to put that in a local community situation. But there are skills which can be trained and delivered in a community setting. So what I've said to HEART is that the members of parliament should make their application and they are reviewed on a case-by-case basis. So come up with a good program where the program that you want is aligned to industry. Because right now what you don't want to do is to use scarce resources to train skills that are not aligned to industry or train persons in areas where there is already an oversupply of those skills. So craft your programs and apply. Dr. Ingleton has been so directed. I know that some of you have programs there. They will review them. And I personally have to come back to the House, Madam Speaker, to give a further update on HEART. There are many other things happening. So I will be able at that time to give a report as to how many programs have been approved. Madam Speaker, ensuring a steady flow of trained workers aligned with industry demand is critical to sustain the growth of the economy. I'm confident that the special programs outlined, along with the traditional programs and the removal.
I don't know why this thing came. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a bit of a glitch, buffering situation going on. But of course, I'm just bringing you a live broadcast of the 2023-24 budget debate presentation by Prime Minister the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, ONPC MP. It's 6:37 p.m. and coming up next will be my feature, What's Inside the Zone. And what's inside the zone? A woman's right to choose. Is a woman selfish if she chooses not to have children? Think about it. That comes up in a few minutes. It's 6:37. My name is Denise. It's Thursday. Have you stomped your feet, clapped your hand, and said, hey, I'm here and I'm feeling good? I hope you have. And also at 7 o'clock will be Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. And this evening's topic, cheating don't pay. It's interesting. Usually they don't elaborate so much. They just give me the basics. But in this letter, I'm like, okay, we have a lot to say. But, interesting. So I just want to share that with you. In center stage, who's that lady? Who's that lady? Shanae V. Williams, 1st Council District, Yonkers, New York. She's the New York first Jamaican-born American elected to the Yonkers City Council and currently the youngest council member in Yonkers. So she will be sharing how she started, what she's doing for her constituents in the city of Yonkers, and we really want to hear.
Under the Ministry of Economic Growth.
Alrighty, I'll have to carry that as a delayed broadcast for you. For some reason, we're having that buffering issue. But good evening, everyone. So let me ask the question, and the telephone number is 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. And I'd like to hear your take on this topic because there are, persons who have chosen not to have children. They don't want any. They just want to live their lives, and people have bashed them for it. And I'd like you to tell me what your thoughts are. 914-600-4228. This simply means there are many people like that who come together. They agree that they don't want to have any children. And they just want to live their lives. And other people will say, God never bring you on this earth to go back to him so. And you must procreate. You have to bring children forth. And yes, we were created as such. But what happens if a woman chooses not to? What happens if she feels she's not cut out for that? Maternally, her instincts are there. But if she feels that may be too much for her, she don't earn enough money, she can't manage, all of that people take into account about why they don't want to, have children. What would you say about that? Give me a call. I'd like to hear from you. 914-600-4228.
So run come everybody.
Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You hear that Donald Trump get the indictment?
I beg your pardon?
Did you hear that Donald Trump get indictment?
No, I didn't.
You were in Fox News.
Okay, I'll check it out. Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Rock Shanti Show, what program in Command One?
I do not know.
Okay.
All right.
Cannot do protocol breaker. There is nothing you cannot do. Jehovah overdo. I have tested of your love. I have seen your mighty works. Mountain mover, my lover. On your money, I have tested of your love.
6:45 p.m. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings, Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Good evening, everyone.
When you are hungry, come to Cooler Runnings Restaurant. Located at 1802 Nereid Avenue, corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx, we specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Nereid Avenue, in association with the Cargill Community Project, presents our annual Spring Fish Fry on Saturday, May 20th, to be held at Cooler Runnings Jerk Center, 1785 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Ticket donations $30. All proceeds will go to the Cargill Community Project. This event is from noon until 8 p.m. For tickets and more information, you can contact Cooler Runnings Restaurant at 718-324-7484 or 347-961-6785. That's 347-961-6785. And remember, this is our year-to-year Cargill Community Project Spring Fish Fry. Make it a date, and you better not be late. See you there.
Hi, I'm Lady D Denise Gomez, and I have exciting interview segments and features inside the zone. For recording artists, you can sing. Well, Inside the Zone, second Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. is for you. Writers, share your story, no man, in From the Author Zone on third Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Male Zone has unbelievably juicy stories of love, heartbreak, and triumph. 7 p.m. has never been this good. On Mondays, it's news, talk, engaging features at 7 in the Monday Drive. And Center Stage has everyone talking on Thursdays. Be a part of the show. Email me insidethezone@gmail.com or call me 914-304-2592.
Welcome back, 6:47 p.m. I'd like to say hello to everyone on the YouTube channel and those of you on Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7 FM. Good evening to you.
Hi, good evening. You can say me there.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Now I can, much better.
No, I'm saying you can say me there, you know.
Medea.
You say I'm here. You can say me there.
But where were you? Usually I said it even this evening.
I didn't hear.
Sorry. Burst your bubble. Mm-hmm.
Lady D.
Sir.
This is serious. You got a phone call a couple of minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the second time on this platform that person has called to propagate incorrect information of a very serious nature. Donald Trump is not indicted.
Well, you know, I handled the matter. I looked. I didn't see anything. I kept moving.
But, you know, this is the second time.
Okay. They're perhaps not understanding the proceedings that are in progress.
Correct. It's watching the
Yes.
news, but not understanding what is being said or written. So if the good gentleman is listening, please, sir, don't do that. Get the facts right before you come on the radio and say stuff like that. It's a very serious matter.
Yes, it is.
All right? It is, especially pertaining to that particular individual
Yes,
who is under investigation.
indeed.
All right, good. This is a radio. You have to be careful what you say.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Before you go, I had posed a question. Now that I have you, let me just nab you. A woman's right to choose. A woman's right to choose. Is a woman selfish if she chooses not to have children?
Oh.
Oh,
Wow.
you never heard that part, did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That changed my answer entirely.
Okay.
Of course, a woman have a right. That goes without saying. It doesn't need me or you anybody to say a woman have a right to do. But
Conjunction
Different.
coming up.
yeah, that's a transitional word. But given, and don't get me wrong, all your listeners, given that God created women as childbearers, and if we go back to the origin as to why we were made and why you were made woman, you have that responsibility as long as you're able to and I'm able to reproductively, biologically, and medically able to contribute to the propagation of
Man.
the human race. You were created with a very special purpose. Very special purpose. So I would say, ladies, what you have the right to do, I believe in that to my grave. But again, think about how you fit in the whole human and God's creation. All right, because if maybe for the women who are thinking of choosing not to have children, if your mother made a choice, then you'd be around to be making this choice.
Right.
Okay, and what would happen if it all adds up? One was full bath. What happens if women all around take that position? What's going to happen to the human race? All right.
Yeah.
So that's my long-winded take on it.
I was about to say more than 2 cents.
Yeah, now all those things you can answer.
I know.
It's a monosyllable answer.
Indeed. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. That's DL's take, and I'm right there. As generations progress, it's because people are having children. So if we cut that off, then what's going to happen to us? Yeah. You may call me 914-600-4228 if you'd like to be a part of the discussion. So here is an article. More women are choosing not to have kids and society can't cope. So it says, quote, I don't want to have kids. It's the kind of statement that often prompts total disbelief. It's known to end conversations, leaving behind confused blank faces and dropped jaws, especially when coming from a woman. The response is always, you'll change your mind eventually. Right? She's child-free by choice, and despite being confident in her decision, Jess, this is the person in question, Jess is constantly undermined by society's inability to separate woman and motherhood. The Australian Bureau of Statistics says that sometime in the next decade, the the number of couples without children will overtake the number of couples with. That means more women are choosing not to have kids. It's a trend. Psychotherapist Zoe Krupka says is often wrongly labeled selfish, shallow, and immature. ABC podcast Ladies We Need to Talk is sharing the stories of women who choose to be child-free to help clear up some pretty messy misconceptions. One woman chose not to have children, and I'm counting down to Mail Zone at 7 o'clock. Dr. Krupka defines child-free by choice as a woman making a conscious decision that she doesn't want to have her own children. Quote, it doesn't mean she doesn't want to co-parent or step-parent or help her friends out with their kids or be an auntie, but she's made a conscious decision that's not based on infertility or chance or circumstances beyond her control, end quote, she says. And rather than it being about cost, ruining your body or the fact having kids can be a rough gig, Dr. Krupka says women are turned off by the ridiculous standards about motherhood. You would think that it was about the terrible deal it can be when you have kids. But it's mostly rather for a lot of women about what the ideal of motherhood is and is like what the standard is like, the perfectionism around mothering. It's not just that there isn't support for women to have it all, but that there is intense social criticism of mothers that makes it a particularly unattractive option. There's this assumption that you're selfish because you've chosen not to have children, says Tori Shepard, who has published a book on her decision to remain child-free. And there is something in that, because if you're having kids, you need to give them everything. But then if you're having a kid just so they look after you when you're older, that's pretty selfish. Dr. Krupka adds there is no evidence to show people are more selfless as a parent. Now, life has to change when you have a baby. Actor Jess, who we heard from earlier, says she doesn't really like children. And given that, the state of the world and how it is, she worries about what kind of life they would have anyway. It's a huge weight on my mind. What problems are we passing on to them that they had no control over? Caroline Emskamp is 48 and says she's never felt maternal, and her husband of 22 years didn't have a strong opinion either way. I'm a big animal lover. Like, show me a puppy and I'll be pretty excited. Show me a baby and I'm fairly blasé about the whole thing. She values her freedom and independence and says kids would have hindered that. You have to give some stuff up when you have children. Life has to change, she says. Those who say it won't change are delusional because you'll drive yourself mad trying to keep it the same. We travel a lot, and we've always been really happy with our marriage and our partnership and the life that we lead. Melbourne writer Gemma, 40, says the choice not to be a parent was made with her mental health in mind. The main reason I'm child-free by choice is my fear that my postnatal depression will be so debilitating that I would not be able to bond with my child, she says. And so there are, a lot of people who have given their reasons. But whatever it is, if you are a mother, I trust that your experiences with your children have been rewarding, a learning tool for you, curb for you, because that's really it, There's no great manual. Hello, good evening.
How are you, Lady D?
Well, I think you returned from Dubai.
No, Iraq.
Iraq, how was it there?
It's good.
It was nice.
Nice. I'm happy for you, Ed. What you say? Good evening.
A woman has the right to choose. I believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
Because especially now, she can even meet somebody on the change and she say, well, then she cannot go through that with a child for a person.
Mm-hmm.
Plus baby formula. The price for baby formula, it's skyrocketed now.
Mm-hmm.
Plus other things.
Mm-hmm.
So if she don't want to have a child, it's up to her. She know why. Because sometimes the doctor inform her that you get pregnant, you will die.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? A lot of that happen. Women die giving birth.
Yeah, that's true. True. Mm-hmm.
And then some people, if their mother had a child after her, and the child died, or the mother died, she think different also.
Mm. I hear you. Yes.
So a woman has the right, okay?
Thank you for sharing, Ed. Good to hear you.
Okay, take
Alrighty.
care.
Blessings. Alrighty, that's Eddie's input. And what time is it? 7 o'clock. Time for us to wrap up this segment, but I thank both my callers, men, interestingly, who have given their input. That's DL and Eddie for you. Thank you, gentlemen. And now it's time for keeping you in the know, Lady D. It's time for Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority.
Two hearts together, we're a harmony so right. Two sparks united, we're a fire burning bright.
For the truth, always brand new. Right from the jump, we had a hunch that we had everything.
Perfect combination. Love plus you and me. A perfect combination. We couldn't ask for any better.
Welcome to Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. Good evening, everyone. Let's check the inbox here and hear what's going on. Alrighty, let's see if we're having some challenges with our mailbox. But I think I need to do something like this and then get into the mail. Here we go. Okay, good evening, everyone. We have our mail. From the subject line, cheating don't pay. And this is a lengthy letter, but we'll get through it. Dear Lady D, I love your Women's History Month features. However, I have my own story to share. Not too long ago, I met a man who treated me to everything my husband never did. It is true that when puss gone, rata take place. Please don't blame me. I'm a born Jamaican. My husband and I are separated. We married in 1993 and were inseparable. The only thing was he regularly traveled for his job, and I was afraid of being in this big house alone at night. So I usually went out with friends whenever he was away to keep myself occupied. One weekend, he encouraged me to take a few of my friends for a time away on the North Coast, and boy, did we have a ball. While there, I met a handsome man, and Lady D, it was hard not to feel tingles running down my spine. We spent a lot of time talking, and the attraction was mutual. We exchanged numbers. The Sunday we left the resort, and our conversations went from hello to so many exciting things. He had me yearning for him, and since my husband worked very late, I had all the time to do what pleased him. 3 months into the relationship, I took the bold move to invite him over while my husband was away. We juggled our activities skillfully, and never was my husband ever suspicious. I played the role of a wife carefully. I admit my lover outsmarted my husband in the bedroom, and I became the dutiful wife. This particular weekend, we planned our time together away from our usual routine. My husband left the Thursday evening, and I did the same. I met up with my lover and flew out of the country to Puerto Rico. While there, we dropped our guard down and were all over each other, kissing and cuddling every chance we got. One evening as we sat down to dinner, a young woman passed by our table, and as she passed, she stepped back and looked at him. At first, I was a bit unnerved by what she did, but when she called him by name and asked him what he was doing in Puerto Rico, that was the beginning of a messy weekend. I could tell he knew her, and as he introduced me, there was something familiar about them. But when she said, "Is this your wife?" I felt a ton of bricks drop down on me same time. Can you imagine? I was a married woman flaunting myself around with a married man. He never disclosed it, and I shamefully had to sit at that table and listen to her rant on and on about their brief fling. After she left, he kept apologizing. I felt betrayed, so I left him, went back to the hotel, and packed my bags. We left the following morning back to Jamaica and have yet to exchange words. We landed, and rather than traveling together, I hired a taxi to take me home. When I got home, I was surprised to see my husband there. He was so angry because he couldn't find me for the entire weekend and wanted to know where I had been. He had reported me missing, and my family was terrified. I kept from telling anyone where I was going. To defend his continuous ranting, I quickly concocted a lie and told him I missed him so much that I couldn't stay home alone and chose to take a trip. Lady D, that was the biggest mistake I made. He wanted to know where I went and where I stayed. Everything was getting more complicated. I would not tell him, and he took out his phone and called someone in authority and found out the details of my trip, and found out the details of my trip and which hotel I checked into. Unfortunately, not only did he find out which hotel I checked into, but that there was one room booked for me and this other man. That was the last time I saw my husband. He packed his things and never looked back. It was the saddest day of my life. Cheating doesn't pay. That's it for this evening's letter. That's it for this evening's letter. I tell you, I blasted the flyer, and heavens boy, I'm still here saying I wonder if I should have blasted the flyer out. It's almost like people couldn't wait to unearth stuff. I feel like Janet Sinclair. Who would like to weigh in on this matter here? Cheating don't pay. 2 Jamaican people in Jamaica married. And then here is this woman who got herself entangled gone off on trip. Boy, these things things happen, you know. There she's gone off to Puerto Rico without knowing that somebody would have, you know, like say, hey, I'm over here too. It's likely I may know somebody. Good evening. How are you? Welcome to Mail Zone. What an evening. What a letter.
Look at my queen.
I tell you.
Love the hair, love the hair.
Thank you. What's doing, King?
No. It could same way a shootout go on and she get killed same way.
Mm-hmm.
But that woman, I hope she listening. She have no class whatsoever. No class. Your husband gone for a week and your feelings switch from black to white just like that. Mm-hmm. Woman, you have no class at all whatsoever. You won't even know, you won't even get to see the bag that I'm going to pack, how much I'll leave. Mm-hmm. No class. Well, no class and respect whatsoever. And she have the nerves of saying how well the husband treat her. Greed can kill you if you continue on the same road. You will never be satisfied. Mm-hmm. She's like sin, never satisfied. Mm-hmm. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, sir. Point taken. 914-600-4228. Please be advised, I have an interview at 7:30 with the councilwoman, Shanae Williams, out of Yonkers. So please call if you intend to call in this segment, Mail Zone. Please do so now so that we won't have to be asking you to, you know, hold your calls because I'm about to start the interview. Good evening. Welcome to Mail Zone.
Good evening, Lady D.
My dear heart, how you do, Hortense? Hortense?
Oh, yes, ma'am. What a woman. She never think.
Hey.
Me never think. Me, I left the house and I say, boy, suppose she come home and don't find me. Mm-hmm. She gonna with trip to her.
To Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm. Puerto Rico, all right.
Because the man has money. The footnote, she tell me that he's wealthy. He lives in Jamaica. They have money, right? And so, aye. Now, I noticed Jackie and Andrea in my YouTube are saying, I wonder if the gentleman, you know, the husband have somebody too. I don't know. She don't know. I don't know if she knows. I have no clue. But he's a businessman and he travels a lot. So who knows these things? But, you know, that aside, she did what she did.
Mm-hmm. Man, this something is a very serious thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. I mean, and she didn't even say, hold off, little, you know, the husband left to go on the business trip and she leave the same evening, the Thursday evening, fly out.
Mm. All right.
Oh, man. But she didn't realize that he would have gotten home before she did.
That's right.
So that's the catch right there. That's what messed her up.
She thinks that she would have reached home before him.
Yes.
But when she reached home, he was there.
Very much. And then not only that, he couldn't find her. Then nobody could find her. So, you know, they report her missing. Oh, Lord. She just put herself in pot water.
Mm-hmm. Hot water.
Yep. And so the husband, he has connections. He was able to just take the phone and make a call. Hey, flight itinerary, everybody pop up. I tell you, don't underestimate people.
No, and him a businessman again. Oh, Lord.
Yes, miss. Oh, yeah. I tell you. But good to hear you, my Hortense. All righty. Take it easy.
Lady D, you could have called me after the ear. I have something to say. I'm not say it from the ear.
No, we not.
Jesus.
No, we not do that on the ear. I'll call you when I'm done.
Yes.
Okay? All right, my love. Take care. Okay. 914-600-4228. I'd like to say hello to the listeners over at CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. Good evening to you, Touch FM Radio 90.1, but of course my beloved listeners at Linkage Radio. Good evening, 104.5, 101.7. And to my dedicated YouTube viewers, I thank you so much for always popping in and being here to keep my company. And don't forget, YouTubers, I would like to hear from you. I heard from King Ryan, so thank you. I'd like to hear from Brainbox, and birthday was celebrated on Monday, so all kind of good stuff going on. Sharon's, I guess you're working, so I'm just saying hi to everyone. Good evening to you, and you. At 7:30 I have an interview with Shanae V. Williams, and she is the councilwoman for the 1st District in Yonkers, New York. She is in my segment, Who's That Lady? Yeah, she's my lady this evening, so we'll be talking about her career, how she started, she's Jamaican, all of that wonderful stuff. So you stick and stay and don't go anywhere. But I'd like to hear some more callers. Give me a call. It's 7:15 p.m., 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. I would love to hear from you. So hasten the process. Hasten.
Cooler Runnings Restaurant, located at 1802 Newark Avenue, in association with the Cargill Community Project, presents our annual Spring Fish Fry on Saturday, May 20th, to be held at Cooler Runnings Jerk Center, 1785 Newark Avenue in the Bronx. Ticket donations $30. All proceeds will go to the Cargill Community Project. This event is from noon until 8 p.m. For tickets and more information, you can contact Cooler Runnings Restaurant at 718-324-7484 or 347-961-6785. That's 347-961-6785. And remember, this is our year-to-year Cargill Community Project Spring Fish Fry. Make it a date, and you better not be late. See you there.
Alrighty, hoping to see you there, everyone. Whatever they put on, it's always good. Good evening to my caller online. Welcome.
Good evening, Lady D.
Good evening, madam.
It's Jackie.
Yes.
How do you do?
Yeah, fine. Yeah. How was the birthday, Jack?
I'm coming from an exam just in time to hear that letter.
Oh, dear. What say you about the letter here this evening?
The lady had so much time on her hands.
Well, hi. The gentleman is all over the globe.
We're always beating down the guys and whatever, and and their infidelities and whatever. But it seemed like this lady had so much time on her hands. She never worked.
She didn't say. I doubt. I believe she does.
If you have something that is that good, you make a little loneliness. So that's Notice as she come home, everything just fell apart. The man disappeared, literally disappeared. And she never saw him again. I wonder what her life is like today.
Well, clearly
he left. It doesn't pay. It doesn't matter what role you play, whether you're the man or woman, and you're doing something like that. It doesn't pay.
And well, clearly he just leave her with the house and everything. But house is not comfort. House can bring you comfort, right?
No. So she, and I'm sure she can't go call back that man that she went to Puerto Rico with.
Oh, Lordy, I would think that died. I would think that died.
She can't go with that call. So,
I'm
sorry for her, but let me say, when you make your bed, the line is.
I agree, Mrs. So you're good though.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm good. I was actually here with Mom listening to the budget presentation from the Prime Minister of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Really interesting, listening to the plans that they have and things that they've done so far. It doesn't matter what party in, as long as they're working for the country, I'm fine.
Yes.
And it seems like they have certain things in place, and I hope it works out for the best. It's our country.
That's right. I was playing a bit of it, but of course it started buffering. I had to just discontinue that.
Right.
Yeah. But I thank you for your input, Jack.
Yes, madam.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Blessings.
No problem. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, man, this is Sound G representing the Disciple DJ.
So it is Gospel Music Thursday.
El especialista en imposibilidad. Eso es lo que tú eres.
Yes, music for you on a Thursday evening.
DJ Proclaimer,
Yes, good evening to you, you, wherever you are. It's all about Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. My name is Denise, Lady D Gomez. You're tuned into Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect on Linkage Radio. And of course, we are also on our YouTube channel, which is mine, Inside the Zone with Lady D. If you have not yet liked, subscribed, or shared the channel, I invite you to do so now. Those of you who are listening on the radio, you have a smartphone, please log on to your YouTube channel. I'm easy to find, Inside the Zone with Lady D, and you'll see me there. You just subscribe, the little finger you see with that thumbs up, you just tap it, and that will keep the channel in rotation. Okay, so I'd like you to do that for me, won't you? 25 minutes and counting to my interview with Council Member Williams, Shanae V. Williams. I'm looking forward to speaking with her. She is out of Yonkers in New York, and that should be very enlightening. So I'm asking those of you who are tuned in to join, listen to the voice of a young woman. I'm telling you, she had a dream and she's pursuing it, all for the people of Yonkers. So welcome everyone. Share the link, and let somebody know that the show is on. You know what? Oh dear. So the YouTubers are having a conversation based on the previous segment. I hear you all loud and clear. So good evening to everybody who you're listening and you are just simply relaxing on a Thursday. Have you made any tea yet? You feel like cuddling up with a cup of tea? I hope so. I'd like to say hi to Auntie Daphne. Auntie Daphne, I hope you're well. Man, we had a laugh this week. Oh my goodness. I call Auntie Daphne and another person, and the three of us were having quite a joke. But anyway, it's good to reminisce, you know. And when we speak to our seniors, there's so much for them to share, and you'd be surprised how they had it difficult too, and some good whoopings, even unnecessarily. But Auntie Daphne, you made us laugh. We had a good laugh at the moment. So I'd like to say hi to her and to all my seniors who are tuned into Linkage Radio. This is your niche. I know that. And so, we try our best to be as relatable and relevant to you. Because I'm catching you up. So I'm going to get to your age at some point. And can you imagine when I'm going to be sharing the stories? I remember a man who did name Eddie. Lordy, as we talk, as we get older, I'm just going off in a moment. But it's true. Sometimes we all think we're going to stay here and nice and young. But that's not the case. We have to be realistic. Our telephone number is 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. So good evening to everybody watching with us. It's always good to be here on the radio. I tell people, I love what I do. And of course, if you'd like to send me your email about your story, it could be a story about love, about your family, about your children. It doesn't necessarily has to be centered around, man-woman relationships. And we've had people who talk about their children. So please email me insidethezone@gmail.com. insidethezone@gmail.com. I'd so love to hear from you. Call, as I would say, call me. You can call me, and we can, just talk so I can hear what's going on. Oh, come on, Lady D, what have you done here now? So we can talk and, Oh, stop. Oh, dear. I did something here. So, got some more music for you. Stick and stay with me. Oh, Lordy. I got some music for you, so you don't go anywhere. You stay right there. Want to say this coming Saturday, Neighborhood Housing Services in the Bronx, they're having one of those informational sessions where they will be providing people with relevant information concerning housing. So whether you want to be a first-time home buyer, whether you own a home, mortgage information, all of that, this coming Saturday, it will be held at the Administrative Hall of New Testament Temple, Church of God. That's the church I worship, so they will be hosting their seminar there on Saturday. The address is 3356 Seymour Avenue in the Bronx. That's 3356 Seymour Avenue in the Bronx, and I'm looking forward to having persons come. You need some information about housing and so on, please don't hesitate to call and get the information that you need. Don't forget. Good evening. Welcome to Inside the Zone. Hello.
Hi. Yes.
Good evening.
Is this Lady D?
Yes, it is.
Hi, it's Councilmember Shanae Williams.
How are you, Councilmember? Thank you for joining
Good. I'm going
us.
to call back because I'm echoing.
All right, then. Do that. Thank you.
Okay.
All righty. She's going to call back, and then we'll start our conversation. How about that? Good evening.
Hi, Lady D.
Yes. Welcome, welcome. Councilwoman, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you. How are you?
It's a good day. It's Thursday. And
yes.
I'm having you as my guest. You know, who's that lady? That's the segment we're in for Women's History Month.
Yes, I love it.
Wonderful.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored.
Of course. We're honored to have you here. And you are live on the YouTube channel Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez, as well as on Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7. I'm also carrying you on CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. They're over in Massachusetts, and in the Bronx on Touch FM Radio 90.1. So you're all over with us this evening.
Oh, awesome. Hello, everyone. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Councilwoman Shanae V. Williams, born in Jamaica and immigrated to Yonkers as a child. Councilmember Williams is the younger of two siblings. She has a very large extended family, as her mother is one of 13 children. She's proud to have a very close-knit, God-fearing family in Yonkers. Williams is a product of the New York State public school system, having attended Dotson Elementary and Mark Twain Middle School in Yonkers and Hastings High School in Hastings-on-Hudson. Williams has been a resident of the 1st Council District for over 20 years. So, how do you feel about Women's History Month, Councilwoman?
I love it. I think it's great that as women we have a time of the year we get to not just celebrate ourselves, but celebrate other women who have been paving the way and doing amazing work. And I think it's just a beautiful thing for the rest of the, the world to kind of look and recognize with us and celebrate with us. So it's wonderful.
All righty. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are ready take a seat. I just asked them, Councilwoman, if they had made a cup of tea yet, because now is a perfect time for them to just sit and enjoy this interview. My segment is called Who's That Lady? And who's that lady is Councilwoman Williams this evening. Now, your appointment to the Yonkers City Council was on January 1 in 2018, and you were subsequently elected to the council in 2019. You now represent the 1st council district in the city of Yonkers and are the youngest member, a remarkable achievement. So I'd like you to take us back to where it started.
Yes. So really it started in 2011. I was an intern in the state assembly in my senior year of undergraduate college at SUNY Albany. And I fell in love with creating legislation and working with constituents. And, I thought that it was such a powerful thing to be able to create laws that would impact the lives of so many people. And going from there, I ended up working for that assembly member, and he ran for mayor. He hired me when I graduated college. He hired me straight out of college, and I learned everything about government, the ins and outs of politics, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the community, and I knew I wanted to be a part of it and be a part of the growth and do more. And so when the opportunity came in 2018, when there was a vacancy in the council, I stepped up and I put myself out there. I ran for that position, and here I am. So it all started with an internship.
It all started with an internship. Can you imagine? And something, I have a theme song that I chose to play each time I'm having an interview or just to introduce the Women's History Month. And I'm not sure if you're young like me and if you would happen to know this one, but take a quick listen.
Okay.
And I'll play more later on. Do you know that song, Councilwoman?
Unfortunately, I say that I do not. I've never heard it before, but it sounds lovely.
It is lovely, and I'll send it to Deanna. And you both can sit and listen to it, okay? And
thank you.
Yes, there's a story behind it, so I'll allow you to do your research, and then you'll say, "Oh, now I know." So, ladies and gentlemen, who is that lady? And she's like my Moses this evening. Councilwoman Williams out of Yonkers, city of Yonkers. Now, how is the relationship between you and your constituents?
It's great. It's a positive one. I think I've been doing constituent work for so long, for 12 years, that as council member, a lot of people, they're happy that they have someone in office that they can reach out to who's responsive, who follows up on their issues, who is not just going to just send them some voicemail or just pass them up to their assistant, but actually will follow up directly. And, I think that means a lot for someone. I think, all politics is local. It's important for people in the community to have access to the elected officials that they vote for. And I make sure that I work day and night to be that person for them. And one of the things that I love about what I do is that I am very much someone who thinks that government should work for people, right? And part of that means that we have to be intentional about going into the communities where they are and bring resources, bring information to them. It's not, their job to come and seek out the information because they never will.
Mhm.
They may not know how to, and so we have to break those barriers down. And that's the kind of person that I've been over the years, and I think that my constituents appreciate that.
That's right. And you know what caught my attention when we were at the Consulate General of Jamaica in
Right.
New York recently? You received a proclamation from the Consul General herself. And I was saying, oh my goodness, such a young woman. And I was just so impressed. And, you know, as I'm going through a list of names or trying to identify people who I know would certainly mirror the theme of Women's Month and bring some value and have an impact on women and people in general, I thought of you. And also because you're a member of multiple committees centered around women and children, and that also piqued my interest. So could you tell us about these ventures?
Absolutely. So, as a young person and the youngest person on the council, I think it's very important that I think about people like me and people younger than me and how to help them, right? And so I have no children of my own, but I have a lot of young cousins and godchildren, and I have, you know, a lot of, you know, different family members, my niece and nephews, and I helped raise them. And so I have a lens that I think is very unique in that way. And so when I'm in this position where I get to make decisions and I get to do things that will benefit them, it's so important. As a council member, what I've done over the years is I have worked with other organizations and groups and nonprofits to either provide funding to directly impact the lives of women and children, or, like, for example, I'll work with the YMCA. I allocated $200,000 in our budget one year specifically to go towards a program called Snug, so that they can use that money and go into the schools and work with the youth there to make sure that they're staying out of gangs and not getting into trouble and not picking up guns in our streets, but that they're focused on, you know, what they're supposed to be focused on as children, right? And so that was a really positive thing. I've also put money into our budget so that we can teach kids how to swim. You know, growing up in the island, growing up in just anywhere as black and brown kids, oftentimes we don't have access to pools, we don't have access to outdoor spaces, and I'm a very nature-loving person, and so I want to make sure that we change those narratives and provide access to all black and brown children so that they can feel comfortable going, you know, hiking, going swimming. And so I work with organizations to make sure that they have the resources so that they can provide those programs and initiatives for young people in the community. And in the same way, I'm a member of the Westchester Black Women's Political Caucus. We are, and I'm also a member of the National Council of Negro Women and so many other groups. And I love being around other powerful women who are doing wonderful work, because I think that we have to uplift one another. And so I work with them on a number of initiatives throughout the year, and I think it's just a fabulous thing. And I should also mention the Westchester Women's United group. It's really a networking group, and I think it's just powerful to have resources like that around. And for me as a council member, it's powerful to support them, because you never know how you're going to really impact other people's lives by just being in the same space with them and encouraging them. And that's a lot of the work that I do.
Alrighty, congratulations on that, and in particular the grant that you worked so hard on so that it could benefit our youth. We appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, welcome to Women's History Month, and my tag is Who's That Lady? And the lady this evening is Council Member Shawnee V. Williams of the 1st District in Yonkers, New York. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening. With regret, sympathy, I cannot vote in Yonkers. I cannot vote in Yonkers,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so upset because of that. However, I wish you all the best in the future as a Jamaican. All the best. And whenever you're having an event, I'd like to know.
Okay, council member, are you hearing him?
What was his question? How am I? He was breaking up a little bit.
Oh, Eddie, repeat yourself.
With regrets, I cannot vote for you because I'm in a different neighborhood. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Yes, he's
But
saying
whenever
regrettably.
you're having an event, I would like to know.
Okay.
All the best in
Thank
the
you so much,
future.
sir.
All right, thanks,
Thank
Eddie.
you. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Eddie.
Okay.
Okay, what he's saying, council member, is that
Yes.
unfortunately he cannot vote for you because he's not in your district, but certainly if
Right.
you're having an event, please let us know and he would love to come and support you.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate that. There will be so many opportunities for you to be helpful. Even if you cannot vote for me, you can support in other ways. You can come to a fundraiser. You can help out and get the vote out and knock on doors and canvass. But I have a website, ShanaeWilliams.com, so you can contact me there, and I can certainly let you know how you can get involved.
Alrighty, thanks so much for that. Now, reference to you being a Jamaican, that's a song that we'll always be singing, that you're a Jamaican woman and functioning, in a high profile capacity here in the U.S. How do you empower women pursuing academic excellence, entrepreneurship, and striving to simply place their mark on the world stage?
That's a great question. So as Jamaicans, that we put education first, right? And without a doubt, I certainly love visiting schools and talking to young women and letting them know that, they have to take their education seriously. They have to pursue their dreams and never give up. I love going and speaking to them about all kinds of things. But I think one of the most important things that I've been doing is I've been taking college students into my office every year, every summer, and I give them internships because I got to where I am because of a wonderful internship in the state assembly. And I think that it's an opportunity for young women to know if this is the field that they want to go in, or to learn a new skill that they can take with them, which is transferable anywhere else, whether in the private or public sector. And I think it's just a wonderful thing. So I take on interns all the time. And my most recent intern, actually, I wrote a recommendation letter for her to go to grad school, and she got into so many different schools. I'm so proud of her.
Wow.
She ran for office on her campus and won, and she became the student body president. And so I think that there's just so much potential in young women. They just need someone who look like them, that they can see doing the work and inspire them to do more and, take it from there. And I love doing that.
Absolutely. What is Councilwoman like when she's not wearing her professional hat? Are you the girly girl type?
I am not the girly girl type at all. When I'm not wearing my professional hat, I am definitely outside, hiking, biking, running. I'm in the gym. I'm kayaking. I'm doing anything that requires me to be immersed in nature. I'm camping. I'm building a fire. I just love to do that stuff. But if I'm outside and in nature, I want to do it with people who are amazing people. So I'm always around good friends because, I love to create good memories. But that's mostly what I spend my time doing.
Oh, wow. All right, ma'am. We hear you. And tell us a little bit about what life was like where you grew up in Jamaica. Up to the point before you came here.
In Corville. Yes, absolutely. I am from Corville Garden, Kingston.
Okay.
And I came to America at a very young age when I was 9 years old. But I remember just, being in a very small home with my grandmother, my mother, and a lot of my cousins and aunts. and we were always playing with dolls. And before we had dolls, we were playing with mangoes. We had a mango tree, and we would take the mango, eat it, and the hairs of the mango, we would use that as dolly hair, okay? Make faces on it, and that was the life that I remember. Running around barefoot outside near the gully. It was a very different time, but coming to America was certainly a culture shock and a change, and there's just so much that I could, so many stories that I could tell, but I don't think we have enough time for that.
No, we don't.
But I appreciate those humble times.
Yeah.
I can never forget where I came from. And I thank God for that.
Let's see who wants to make a comment here. Good evening. Welcome to the segment. Who's that lady?
Hi. Ian, hello.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Councilwoman, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, how are you? Before I get into what I call is all about, I just want to take a shot at Lady D. Lady D, you did not know that what the councilwoman said using the mango as a doll. You didn't know that. You didn't know that the girls do that.
Well, as a young woman, as a lady who grew up in Clarendon, I don't recall doing that, but I certainly know I would eat a mango until almost nothing is left.
Yes, and you come from a mango area, so yes, she's right. I've seen it done.
Yes.
The mango seed and do like a doll. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. Oh, go ahead, DL.
Councilwoman, where exactly is the first district? Give me a geographical sense.
Oh, sure, absolutely. So if you're familiar with Yonkers, and like the downtown area of Yonkers, like Getty Square, the waterfront.
Okay.
I like to refer to my district as the waterfront district, where all the development is happening.
Oh.
Where all the wonderful and all the sometimes not so wonderful things are happening. It's pretty much that side of town, the west side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's
so
nice.
Walmart North Broadway, Ashburton.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The train
station.
Right here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
okay.
just up the road, I think it's Broadway. You have St. Adventist Church.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, great. That's a predominantly Jamaican Seventh Adventist church. I must let them know that the councilwoman for that area is Jamaican.
Absolutely, and I'd be happy to take a visit.
There you
I'm
go.
not Seventh Adventist. I grew up, more Pentecostal and but I would love to visit and say hello and meet some new people.
Okay. Well, guess what? Don't worry, Councilwoman, about your being Pentecostal, because there are churches that are they may be Seventh-day Adventist. You have Seventh-day Church of God, so we can check that out. They'll enjoy the clapping and singing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And second and lastly, I happen to learn about you in a very unusual way. There was a situation that occurred in your council with the mayor, and I don't know if you were or it was a report on the Brian Lehrer show on the New York Public Radio Station. They were talking about it. How did that matter eventually turn out?
How did what matter turn out?
The situation where the mayor wanted to extend it and you weren't for it.
Oh, term limits, yes.
Right.
So the vote worked out in his favor. I voted against it, but it passed 4-3. It passed. There were 4 people that voted for it. 3 of us voted against it. So he's currently running for another term, for a 4th term.
Okay. Well, I must applaud you because you're a woman of principle. I have followed it, and that you stood, on the right. Well,
thank you.
Nice talking to you. Continue doing what you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
And we're proud of you. We're proud of you, and I'm sure that's one of the reasons why you're here this evening with Lady D.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
All righty. Thank you, VL.
You're welcome.
All righty. And finally, Councilwoman, you and I know that while there are women who are aspiring for excellence, there are also some broken women, and they're perhaps listening to you this evening and wishing there were so much like you. What should their takeaway be from this interview?
I think the most important thing I would like them to take away tonight is that to not worry about where they are in their lives right now, but to keep a positive outlook on everything that they do, and to always strive for better and do everything that they set out to do. Never give up on themselves. Never let anyone tell them that they cannot do it, that they cannot get there, because that is just absolutely not true. Believe in yourself, encourage yourself, and keep taking one step at a time, one foot in front of the other. There's always a way to get it done. That's what I believe. And so I encourage people to just always be positive, keep a positive outlook on life, and continue to tell yourself that you are great until you become great.
Righty. Sound words, we thank you. That was great. And I do have a fun segment that I'd like to wrap up with. It's all spontaneous, and I require one-word answers only.
Okay.
If you give me more than one, I'll have to take a visit up to your office. Alrighty.
Sounds good.
One-word answers only. Here we start off. Jamaica.
Beautiful.
Education.
Smart.
Yonkers.
Growing.
Life.
Amazing.
Love.
God.
Woman.
Powerful.
Purpose.
I'm sorry?
Purpose.
Protest, you said?
Purpose. Purpose.
Process.
No, purpose. Purpose.
Perfect?
Purpose. Purpose. Purpose.
I'm sorry, I'm not.
You're not hearing right. So that's P as in pot, U as in under, R as in rabbit, P as in purpose, O as in orange, S as in egg, E as in egg. Purpose.
I don't know.
Oh, you're not hearing that one clear enough. All righty.
I'm not, but I also don't know what comes to mind when you spell it out.
Okay. All righty. And let's skip that one over. Family.
Family, what comes to mind? Just everything. Family's everything.
Everything. And finally, Shanae V. Williams.
Future county legislator. More than one word. You're going to have to come to my office, Lady D.
I know. All righty, but you were great, and we appreciate you, and congratulations on your level of success, and we wish you God's blessing, because I know to us it sounds, just so beautiful that you have attained such a high order, but we know that it can't be easy.
Yes, it's not. It's definitely not an easy job. But it's certainly something that I feel that God has called me to do, and so I do it with grace.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, council member for the 1st District of the City of Yonkers, Shanae V. Williams. Again, congratulations. Thank you for joining me here on Inside the Zone for Women's History Month. Who's that lady? Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, Lady D. You have a beautiful voice. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
God bless. Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye-bye. All righty.
She
Yes, that's a wrap for this evening's show. Right here on Inside the Zone with Lady D, Denise Gomez. And so I would like to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. I'd like to thank Touch FM Radio 90.1 and Caribbean Vibes Radio for airing the show this evening. And to you, the audience of Linkage Radio 104.5, 101.7, to the YouTube channel Inside the Zone with Lady D, viewers, thank you. And those who are perhaps just joining me for the very first time and you know not a clue about me, well, my show is aired on Mondays 5 to 7 and Thursdays 6 to 8. And of course I have the feature called Saturday Morning Runnings this coming Saturday. Alrighty. This coming Saturday at 10. So I'm looking forward to seeing you on the YouTube channel Saturday morning. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. And to all the Moseses out there. And thanks to Council Member Shawnee V. Williams for joining me this evening on the segment Who's That Lady? Have yourselves a great weekend, everyone. My weekend with you begins right now. What can I say? Don't beat me. As always, love yourselves, love your children, and remember in everything you do, God is watching, and He sees, and He knows, and He formed you before He formed you before. Can you imagine that? Blessings, everyone. Mwah. I'm out of here.
Located in Mount Vernon, 408 East Sanford Boulevard. Call and place your order at 914-699